After spending much of 2023 struggling to become a funded trader, I have now passed the Top Step Combine many times and usually pretty quickly. So in this video, I'll share a few tips and setups and then try to pass a brand new combine in just 2 days. Now, a few important things first. If you are brand new to trading, I recommend staying out of the funding firm world. Keep your costs low by paper trading and really become comfortable with the instruments that you want to trade. Get plenty of screen time hours in, observing price action before trying to make money with trading. Also, there are a lot of different approaches to the combine. In 2023, I documented my experience in a 3-part series. I took the combine very seriously. I traded it as if it was my real money, and it took me something like 11 months to finally pass. The truth is, I was not ready for a funded account yet, and the time I spent trying to pass did make me a better trader while keeping my costs in check. After having received payouts from a funded account, my goal now is to not spend a lot of time in the combine. I want to get in, hit my targets, and get funded in a few days. The fastest I passed a combine was done in December on FOMC day. I traded in the afternoon and made $3,600, which was over 50% of my profit target. Then, when futures reopened a few hours later, I made $3,000 plus an additional $600 to abide by the 50% rule that Top Step has. That is honestly pretty hard to do and requires some momentum in the market. So with all that said, let's dive in. On Top Step, you have 3 different account sizes, the 50K, the 100K, and 150K. Instead of thinking of these accounts with these massive numbers, really pay attention to the maximum drawdown you have available, which is the maximum loss limit of $2,000, $3,000, or $4,500. Next, look at the profit required to pass, $3,000, $6,000, and $9,000. It's important to note that the profit target is doubling as the account size increases, but the maximum loss limit does not double. For the 100K and 150K, you need to make double your maximum loss limit in profit. So the 100K, for example, has a max loss of $3,000 and you have to make $6,000. The 150K has a max loss of $4,500 and you need to make $9,000. The 50K, however, gives you a more favorable situation. Instead of making double your max loss limit, you just need to make 1.5 times that to become funded. However, I've been trading the 100Ks a lot lately and found it to be a sweet spot for me, but just going off the numbers, the 50K would be the best starting point. Now, while I do use MotiveWave as my platform because it runs natively off of a Mac, I would recommend using Top Step X, which is Top Step's own platform. The reason for this is the max contract size applies to trading both minis and micros on every platform except Top Step X. So on the 50K combine with MotiveWave, I could trade 5 minis or 5 micros. I couldn't trade 10 micros, even though it's equivalent to just 1 mini. Now, to my knowledge, their tech stack was built before micros existed, so that's why it can't do the mini to micro conversion easily, with the exception being on Top Step X. I could trade 50 micros or 5 minis there. In addition to the micros, they also have implemented some really helpful risk management tools, like the ability to lock yourself out of placing trades for a few minutes or the rest of the session, or setting your own personal daily loss limit that will liquidate and lock you out if you lose a set amount, or even ensuring you don't give back profit after you hit your target, or even limiting the amount of trades you take per day or per week. There's also no daily loss limit on Top Step X. Now, on a 100K account on platforms other than Top Step X, you'd be shut off for the rest of the session if you hit a $2,000 loss on the day. But on Top Step X, you can keep trading to negative $3,000 if you want to be aggressive. And then finally, at least for me, if I do need to monitor my position on my phone when I'm away from my computer, the browser-based Top Step X is a lot better than the mobile app for MotiveWave. Okay, let's say you have been trading for a few years and you feel confident in your ability to trade consistently and get paid out with a funded account. With Top Step, they have a 50% consistency rule, which means you can't make more than half of your profit target in one day. If you do, they will add an amount to your profit target so that no one day is larger than 50%. So let's go with the 100K combine, for example. The profit target is $6,000, so I need to ensure I don't make more than $3,000 in one day. In Top Step X, you can set your personal daily profit target to $3,000 and have it liquidate you once you hit that. Now, we don't have to hit our $3,000 target in one trade, but sometimes I do like to shoot for it if the price action and setup look good. So I often set my bracket orders here to target $3,000. I tend to trade day 1 of the combine more aggressively than preceding days because I have a lot less to lose. You may already have some A+ setups you trade. For this video, I'll assume we are trading the 100K account on NASDAQ. For your A+ setup, assuming it's not just a 10-point scalp, try going into the trade with 1 mini. As the trade confirms, add another, then add a third as it continues to move in your direction. I find 3 minis is plenty of size to be able to hit the $3,000 target. That's a total of 50 points needed on 3 contracts to hit the profit target. For me, this is how I like to play reversals. Any good reversal will have plenty of points on the table and offer a relatively tight risk. If we have a double bottom and a higher low, I would enter after the higher low is put in and continue adding as the reversal is confirmed. If I'm wrong and the high or low is invalidated, ideally I'm only in the trade with one mini at this point and I can cut the trade for minimal damage. The other type of trades I like to take to help pass a combine is simply a momentum or a breakout trade, going along with the trend. You can mitigate risk by adding size as price continues in your direction, but sometimes I'll go in right away with 3 mini contracts. Here's a trade I took back in February on the stream. I was halfway through my combine and just needed about $2,600 to pass. I kind of want to short down to the 12s, like I mentioned, it's a pretty good spot. Let's see if we can get it without much drawdown here. Now the trouble with selling the lows like this should be obvious. Even a small pullback will put you in serious drawdown. But we had developed a nice bearish trend off the open and there was plenty of room to the downside in this move, so I put risk on. Boom, baby. Filled out. Beautiful. So that one's passed. The other one is, I think, $140 under. So here in this example, I was copy trading across 2 combines, but sometimes there's a little slippage in between the execution of the follower accounts. So in this instance, that trade passed one of the combines, but I still had to take one more trade to make an additional $150 on the other combine. I'm just gonna go for this here. A little risky here, I might have to give back some profit, but I'm just going for 7.5 points or so. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh man. All right, I think I'll take a loss here. Boom. $106,007. So 2 more XFAs just like that. So I did those in 3 days, the other one in 2 days. So just about as close to a perfect pass as you can get after almost blowing them on the first day. In general, I think trading momentum with multiple contracts at once will result in more combine failures because you aren't able to weather a lot of pullbacks on your position. The bottom line is, if you are going to size up at a combine to pass it quickly, you should know it may take a few resets to get it passed. Okay, so I started a brand new combine for this video to see if I can implement what I just explained to pass a 100K combine in 2 days. The first day, after a few trades, I was down about $400. We had some two-sided action, but after we got below VWAP and failed to reclaim it on a bounce, I was looking for a short to revisit the lows of the session. This trade was pretty risky because we had consolidated a good amount, but I love catching breakdowns just before the move occurs. My timing was good, and you can see with my profit target, I'm targeting $3,400 to make up for the red that I started the trade with. I got the fill to hit max profit really quickly. It can be challenging enough to hit 50% of your profit goal in one day, but doing it on the second day always seems more challenging. It's harder to be aggressive because now you have something to lose. I would recommend waiting for an A+ setup and avoid the temptation to load up 10 minis to try and catch a 25-point move or something like that. It can easily wipe out all of your progress. I find it helpful to have a different account to trade, whether it's a practice account, a personal account, or whatever, and then when you see a really great setup, head over to your combine and take it. So on the live stream, we were forming a little downtrend and I mapped out what I wanted to see. It's possible that this area ends up being a decent spot to try a short. I got in, did what I wanted to do. So my entry a touch lower than I would care for. I will now stop out maybe 74.5. And then I'll also add to this, we get some nice sell candles here. Added a contract. Okay, I'll get in for 2. There we go. Added again. 3rd added there. I only need $3,000 to pass. Boom. That's how you do it. So that one I passed in 2 days. I mean, I got it yesterday afternoon. But that's nice when a plan comes together like that. It feels really good. Now, to be honest, both of these trades weren't amazing as both had a fair amount of consolidation, and it's hard to withstand that when you're trading with size, but I am good about killing trades quick and trying again to catch the move. And of course, you don't need to pass it in 2 days. You can take as long as you want. It is ambitious and you have to be pretty spot on to be able to do that. So take your time with it. Keep in mind, if you are not a consistent trader and are just looking to pass a combine to try and get payouts in the XFA, just know that you are increasing your cost by paying the $149 activation fee. And once in the XFA, you need to trade smart to get payouts. This means to size down from the combine, I recommend starting out on a few micros to build up your balance. I hope this type of video helps you understand my process for passing combines and helps you do the same. If you want to trade with Top Step and support my channel, I'll put a link to sign up in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the live stream.